So let's just start with a brief summary of what the 5 dysfunctions of a team are, and we're going to list them in order because you do need to address these one at a time. Not sure what my dog is doing in the background, but we're going to keep rolling here. So the first dysfunction of a team that you need to address, absence of trust. This means your team is going to be scared to get vulnerable. They won't be open about their mistakes. They won't be open about where they need help. This will prevent you as a leader from addressing small things while they're still small things and before they become big, time-consuming, expensive things. So the first, we got to start with the absence of trust. The second, fear of conflict. When your team is not open to having engaging conversation, unfiltered debate about new ideas, about things that can get better, progress is going to stop. If you have a passive team that just waits to clock out, they don't bring up problems that they're having, they don't feel like they can address an issue that's coming up, problems are not going to get solved and your team won't get better. So the second one we need to focus on is fear of conflict. The third, lack of commitment. Once we've aired out our opinions in a debate, we need to be sure that everyone on the team is going to follow through on the commitments. If people aren't following through on commitments, trust is going to break, and we're going to start back at step one. So we need to be confident that when we come to an agreement at a meeting, even if everyone doesn't agree with the decision, we all are going to honor the commitments that we make. I had a great leader and mentor I worked with in the past who phrased it this way. He said, you don't get a pocket veto. Like, you don't get to hold a veto in your pocket and not say anything, but decide that when you leave the meeting, you're just going to veto the idea individually and not follow through. Like, that cannot be an option on a high-performing team. The fourth, and this is where a lot of people kind of struggle, especially if you're a new leader, especially if you're a people pleaser. And when we struggle here, the entire thing collapses. And that's the avoidance of accountability. Without commitment and buy-in, team members are often hesitant to call their peers to action and behaviors that seem counterproductive to the good of the team. So if you see your peer not following through on their commitments, but you're doing everything you need to do to help the team be successful and you're both treated the same, that's not a place where people can come to thrive. People are going to start being demotivated for giving that extra effort. Everyone on your team needs to be held to a high standard, and this requires you as a leader to having quick and effective accountability conversations when things are not happening the way they are supposed to. Number 5, inattention to result. So if we're not paying attention to the results of the team, and we're more focused on our individual performance, the team will not reach their potential. This means you as a leader need to ensure that everybody understands how their roles impact the success of the greater good. And when you have a team where everybody is bought in and committed to doing the things that help everybody get better, a raised tide lifts all ships, and everybody is better because of it. It is incredible. It is peak performance. It is peak leadership. It is peak team building. It is where you want to be. This is where your aspiration should be. Getting to this place where everybody is more committed to the success of the group than they are their own personal success. The interesting thing is that everybody benefits from it, but it requires going through the first 4 steps before we get here. It is a big deal.